Welcome everyone to the Cycling Custodians YouTube channel. I've been recently called to share my dream work journey with you all. I was in meditation one morning after using that session to recall my past dreams and help interpret it with the help of my higher self, my spirit guides. And it came very clearly that I needed to share my process with you all. So, here we are. So I guess it all starts a couple of years ago. I realized we spend a lot of time sleeping, like 8 hours a day, right? A third of our life. So what I wanted to do, because I was on kind of this spiritual journey, kind of crash course, doing everything really quickly and really fast, and just really had an affinity for the growth that entailed. So although I was using my daytime for meditation and spiritual growth, I wanted to start using my dreams and the nighttime to also enhance myself on a spiritual level. So I started setting intentions. I set the first intention was for that exact purpose, to use the nighttime to enhance my spirituality. So then, as most things do, it takes a little bit to integrate and embody before you can express. But I got to the point where I started having more and more dreams, and the initial part that was difficult for me was actually recalling those dreams. What was I actually dreaming about? Getting clarity and detail, and I'm not going to say the right interpretation, but the interpretation that was coming forth. So I've always been a huge fan of crystals and these beautiful little energetic beings that we are blessed with. So it came to me, again, kind of intuitively on my kind of soul path from when I was a child to now it's kind of remanifested itself into my life, and I started doing a lot of crystal work. So the way that I've broken this down is about 6 different topics that I'm going to cover. And the first is going to be which crystals I've used and how they really helped. Then we're going to kind of move on to other aspects of dream work. So, first one, for intuitive dreaming, Amethyst is really useful. It will help you kind of, if you sleep with it underneath your pillow, it helps kind of channel those higher energies into your dense physical lower realm body, and you can use that kind of you can use that transmutation to help understand what the intuitive aspect of your dreams actually are. Another one, stone that's near and dear to my heart, literally and puns intended, is malachite. Malachite's really good for stimulating dreams. I used it also to open my heart to unconditional love, which I had a massive heart blockage. So that was a bit of an extreme journey, a bit, let me say uncomfortable at times, but it was really useful. And I used to have gauges, malachite, and azurite, and I slept with them all the time, and guess what? I had lots and lots of very vivid dreams. It's cool. Another one for stimulation is Bloodstone. So Bloodstone is good for sleeping in general. You can put it in a bowl of water next to your bed, and it gives you much deeper peaceful sleeps. I used to have insomnia for quite a long time, so that was a nice change of pace. But yeah, so this also helps stimulate dreams as well. The next one, for recall, something that's really difficult for a lot of people, is red jasper. Now, I don't have any raw stones or polished stones, but I make jewelry, and I do have a red jasper bracelet. So you can even put the bracelet underneath your pillow. you can wear it. And as long as you're kind of in close proximity to the stones, they will have their energetic effects on you. We're always connected to everything all the time, so a little bit closer does help kind of amplify that energy. Another one for recall is blue kyanite. And blue kyanite is, again, it's a nice balancer, can balance the chakras, but also can be used for dream recall. Now, I didn't actually use blue kyanite so much as I did some of the other stones, but it's been said to have really good effects, so have a play around with that and see how you feel. Now, the next one is Lapis Lazuli. It's really good for enhancing dreams. So if you want to have more clarity or have more vivid dreams, maybe enhancing the clarity will help you remember them better. So that would be maybe something to play around with. Remember, all of this stuff, there's not really any like black or white, right or wrong, any of that kind of stuff. It doesn't really work like that. There's a big, huge spectrum of the way that things work, and it's really going to depend on the individual that's trying to use it. So have a play, see what you think, and I mean, trial and error is a great thing. If you want to start manifesting dreams, manifesting what's going on in your sleeping life, smoky quartz is really good for that. So it'll help ground those energies in from the higher realms down to the lower realms, and you will start manifesting things that are in your dreams, okay? Now, one crystal that I use a lot that isn't specific for dreaming is clear quartz, because of how it amplifies energetic effects. That is really useful. So if you have an issue with stimulating dreams or with recall or enhancing your dreams or any of that, and you really want to like amplify the effect, really like kind of bring it to the surface, then I would highly recommend using clear quartz in conjunction with some of these other crystals that I have mentioned. One particular arrangement that I like is to put this underneath my pillow facing down and to put this under my pillow facing up. And what that does is setting the intention to do this kind of brings the energies in this way and focuses them right in your headspace and can really amplify your dreams and really help you to remember, okay? So again, I'm just sharing my process with you. There's like a bazillion different ways to do this stuff, but this is how I do it. So that's all I'm going to talk about for crystals. If you have more interest in crystals, I have since I was a kid. I would highly recommend looking at Judy Hall's books, The Crystal Bible. Really, really, really useful. Has so much information in it. I've also used The Crystal Companion, which is also by Judy Hall. She's really great. She's done a lot of cool stuff with crystals and energetic work. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Okay. So on to the next topic. The next topic is setting intentions. Okay, so setting intentions really, really helps in bringing to your awareness whatever it is that you are desiring. So if you wish to set the intention to release all contracts that no longer serve you, or you wish to set the intention that you will enhance your own healing abilities within yourself or come to an understanding of how to do that, then setting the intention as you go to bed will really help bring that to the forefront and calls in those higher realms, those higher energies to help bring that information to you readily. Okay? So setting intentions, one way that I would do that is through a dream journal. Okay? So what I would do is in a book about this size, I would write down the intention, right? So actually bringing it from an idea into physical manifestation and writing these ideas down. I would write it down and then I would go to sleep and I would have a dream and then I would wake up and I would write down as much as I could about that dream. And then kind of look back and forth between the intention and what it is that I actually dreamed about, and use the guidance of my higher self, my soul family, the angels, and have them help me interpret the dreams in the way that is best for my highest good. Okay, so I've heard a lot of people say to write them down as soon as you can, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Keep a notebook on your bedside table and just scribble down as much as you can. Now, I did that for a little bit. I'll be honest, it wasn't my cup of tea because I just had really scribbly, jotty note things that I couldn't really do. But until my recall was good enough to keep that in my mind until I woke up actually for the day, then I did use that to kind of enhance that connection that I had. So I would recommend doing it. I don't do it anymore because I'm just kind of a little beyond that at the moment. I don't really it doesn't serve me anymore. So one big difference is don't use tiny books. Tiny books, you'll have like four words on a page, and then you're like trying to understand what was I talking about. So try to stick with a little bit bigger books, and that will help you get more on one page. Because I mean, if you're groggy at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's all dark, it might be hard to read anyway. So give yourself the best chance you can. Just a pointer. So that's setting intentions and dream journaling. Now the next bit, and this is something that I do now, this is something that I've gotten to the point of, is I meditate on what I dreamt about in the morning. So I go to sleep, I have these dreams, I wake up in the morning, and I'll get myself into a good meditation, and I'll call in my higher self, my guides, and I will ask them if I'm having a hard time interpreting it, if it wasn't really straightforward to the point. Sometimes it is really straightforward, and you can just, like, you know what's going on. If you don't, call them in. They're always there to help you, no matter what. Like, even if you're aware of it or not aware of it, you always have someone in your corner. So I highly recommend using that tool to help you on this dreamwork journey. So with the meditations, bring yourself into a nice quiet space. Find that, I guess people are calling it 0 point. Call in those people, those higher beings, and then start to kind of rehash what it is in your dream. And sometimes you get this really strong pull to be like, hey, pay attention to this part. And you'll think, okay, so what was I thinking about? And the interesting part about this is the more you do this, the more you'll realize just how connected we are. Because even though your own subconscious is manifesting dreams and you're seeing those, you may also be manifesting other people's dreams from the collective subconscious into your own dream space, right? So I've used dreaming to clear out a lot of my subconscious patterning and behaviors and things that don't resonate with me anymore, that were kind of holding me back. And I've done that so much, like I've been doing this for a couple of years now, that my subconscious, I'm not going to say is running out of things to get rid of or to transmute, but now I'm actually getting dreams in from the collective subconscious and helping other people who are willing participants to work on their stuff and our stuff as a whole. So it didn't really start off like that for me. I really wanted to do it to help improve myself. By improving myself, I was effectively helping everybody else out. But I had an affinity to doing lots of good through dream work, and that's something that my higher self has called into my presence, and it's something that I'm more than willing to do because I get to help lots of people. So, I mean, after setting my intention to use my dreaming time as well as my waking time to enhance my spiritual growth, I mean, what better gift to be able to pass that on to others, right? So it's something that I do, and I do it gladly, and I think that's why I get a lot of that now, is because that's how it's supposed to be. Um, so if some of your dreams aren't really making sense, try to think big picture, right? Not just, so how does this relate to me, but maybe how does this relate to humanity as a whole? Because we are all connected on this beautiful blue ball that we live on, right? So we all have these connections, and depending on how intuitive or how in touch or how energetically gifted you are, whatever it is, you may or may not be picking up on those other energies around you. Your environment has a lot to do with it as well. So just, if one way doesn't make sense, just try a different avenue. And eventually, if you're in your heart space, you're really paying attention to that intuition, then you will be able to pick up on some of these more subtle or not so subtle hints that the universe is giving you. Okay? So that's those. Now, one other really important part that I want to cover is that no dreams are bad. Okay? You may have dreams that can be a little scary. I mean, I don't operate from a place of fear. It just doesn't resonate with me anymore. I try to see things as, how can I use this experience to benefit me, no matter how bad it is. If you wreck your car, there's a positive lesson to be learned from this. If you have a really scary, dark, shadowy kind of dream, there's something to be learned from that. So I try to work forward with that mindset, as opposed to, I had a bad dream, I don't want to do this anymore. It just kind of closes you off to a world of potentiality that can really benefit you on many, 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 many levels. So I try to stay away from thinking that some dreams are bad, some dreams are good. I just try to think that all dreams have something to teach you. And it is how you interpret those. It's your perspective that really has that effect, or helps kind of explain it or interpret it in a way that resonates with whatever level that you are on, okay? Whatever point in your journey that you are on. So, I don't really have, I'm not being called to tell you all anything else at the moment, but if you all have any questions, please just shoot me an email at jcales13@gmail.com. And I am more than happy to kick around some ideas with you. If you would like to know how maybe you can enhance your own spiritual journey, then also please just let me know. But yeah, that's all I got for you at the moment. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on this, and how we can clear out some negative energies, and how we can enhance ourselves on spiritual journeys. So if any of this sounds good to you, please like and subscribe, and we can continue down this journey together. Many blessings of love and light to you all. Thank you.